Welcome back to Bella Spicy Converse, the podcast where we explore desires, thoughtfulness, honesty, and without shame. I'm your host, Bella. Today's topic will be discussing something that is very close to the edge, quite literally. We'll be discussing edge play, the kinks, dynamic, and scene that flirts with fear, risk, and emotional intensity, and why some people are deeply drawn to this space. This is by no means an instruction manual. This is just having a conversation about why edge play exists and what it means and why consent and communication matters here more than any other place. So, without further ado, let's begin. So, edge play is an umbrella term in kink that refers to an activity which carry higher physical, emotional, and psychological risk. What makes something edge isn't just the activity in itself, it's how close it comes to someone's limit and pushing that limit or trying to understand where the limit may be. Because for a lot of people, they are not aware of where their limit is. For one person, edge play might involve fear-based role playing. For another, it can be intense power imbalance. And for others, there's the sensory humiliation and loss of control. What defines edge play is risk and the conscious decision to engage with it. So, why do we go there? Why do people go there? Why is it a choice? Well, not necessarily a choice, but why is it an option for a lot of people? Some people don't want to be pushed to their limits, and that's absolutely okay. But for many people, edge play creates an intense presence. It's emotional release, as well as other kinks are emotional release. A few feel it's a feel of surrender or power, and it gives a deep trust between partners. When fear and vulnerability is consensual, it can sharpen the senses and focus the mind. And a lot of times it just falls into place. I don't know why I paused, but I just was thinking like sometimes it just helps things fall into place. And for some, let's see, it confronts fear and controlling in a controlling environment. It helps with, maybe not helps, but for many, it's about trust and placing yourself in someone else's care or, holding that responsibility with intention. So it's not just something to just do recklessly. It's something that you need to do with care. And as I say all the time, communication is key, consent is key. You need to be able to trust this person that you're choosing to have this playtime with. Edge play is never about ignoring consent, boundaries, or safety. It's more, it requires more communication than any other type of form of play. And for people that are getting into the kink world, whether it's BDSM or you just want to have some enjoyment with a partner, some red flags to look out for when trying to be with another person is there's no negotiation. You know, you feel like you're being pressured to do certain things. They're ignoring your safe words. Before you start any play, before you start any kink anything, you should always have safe words, and you should always discuss what the aftercare is. So if they are ignoring your safe words, or if they are not giving you aftercare or checking in on you, that is a red flag. This is not someone that you would be safe with dealing with. Edge play should always involve clear agreements, an exit plan, ongoing consent. Like during the play, you're being checked up on, you're seeing, okay, you know, this hurts here, or hey, like I need you to slow down a little bit. You know, that always needs to be there, as well as emotional accountability, as well as emotional intelligence. If someone says, you know, this is just how edge play is, that's an excuse to hurt you, and that is someone that you should not be dealing with. That is not kink. That is very unsafe behaviors. So with edge play, it does not just affect the body, it lingers in the mind. Scenes may bring up past memories or unexpected emotions, vulnerability after fact. So that is one of the reasons, well, the most reason why you should have an aftercare plan. That's why the Dom that's in charge, or the guiding role person, has the most responsibility within the scene. Edge play carries real responsibilities, and is not something to just throw, like okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then one person is satisfied and the other person is not. That is not what it's about. You're not just creating a scene, you're holding someone's trust. That requires, you know, self-awareness and willingness to stop, even if the fantasy is unfinished. So doms need to have a lot of responsibility. Well, they do have a lot of responsibilities when doing these scenes, and someone's giving them their vulnerability. What fascinates me about edge play isn't the danger aspect of it. It's the honesty that it demands. My nose ring. It's the honesty that it demands. You can't fake communication. You can't rush trust. You can't ignore, you know, your own limits or your partner limits. You have to really home in and be vigilant in what you're doing and how that person is reacting. Edge play forces clarity. You know, it makes you question, you know, what do I want? What do I want to hear? Who do I trust? Why? Sometimes, you know, asking these questions can be a kink in itself. It helps you open your mind more to what you like, what you dislike, and can give you more of a realization of how to go about certain things. Edge play lives where curiosity meets caution. It's not for everyone, and that's absolutely okay. It doesn't have to be. A lot of kinks is not for everyone. But understanding it helps us understand desires in itself. Why intensity feels meaningful, why trust can feel erotic, and why limits matter. If this episode sparked questions, curiosity, concerns, or even a little bit of discomfort, all of those reactions are valid. If you would like to leave a message or ask a question, anything of the sort, you can always message me. What really matters is it gave you a moment to think and be more self-aware and get a little more understanding. Even if this is not something for you, you have a little bit more understanding of what kinks are. Well, at least this kink, what this kink is. So Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, stay kinky, stay consensual.